Welcome to my kitchen. This is Leslie, and today we are going to try making some garbanzo crepes. These are wonderful. They freeze well, they're flexible, they're healthy. So let's get right on it. What you will need for this recipe is 1 cup of garbanzo flour. Now normally, you measure it and scrape it off with a knife, but I'm kind of handicapped a little bit with this today. So we have about 1 cup of garbanzo flour, 1/2 cup of tapioca starch. You could also use arrowroot powder, a scant 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then about 1 1/4 cups of water. You may need a little bit more, so we've got a little extra in here. And a bowl for mixing it up in, a skillet, and a whisk for mixing it up to make sure you get all the lumps out, and then a spatula. Now, if you have a really good no-stick skillet, you could probably make these without any spray or anything, but my skillet does stick just a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable cooking spray when I make these crepes. So I've got my bowl here, and I'm going to go ahead and add my garbanzo flour. Now, if you have a mill, you can go ahead and grind garbanzos and make your own garbanzo flour. But if you don't, you can buy garbanzo flour. A lot of the grocery stores that carry Bob's Red Mill may have it. You could also probably order it online. If you have a high-power blender, you might even be able to make your own garbanzo flour. So I've got my tapioca starch, my garbanzo flour, my salt, and now I want to get all the lumps out of here, so I'm not going to put all the water in yet. I'm going to try to get this kind of mixed up first and get some of these lumps out. See if we can do that before we add a ton of water. Now you could also do this in a blender, of course, and it would be very fast and easy in a blender. Add a little bit more water. We want it to be like a thin pancake batter. I want to try this. Nope, not going to work. Let's just try it like this. And mix it up really well. When you're making these, the thinner the batter, the thinner the wraps will be. And I just love these wraps. After they cool, I put a piece of plastic wrap or parchment paper in between each one, and then I put them in an airtight container and I freeze them. And then when I want one, I just take it out and warm it up for a few minutes. Well, maybe not even a few minutes, but you can let it defrost, or you could put it in the toaster oven, or you could pop it in the microwave just to defrost it, but they stay nice and flexible. And then you can eat it like a taco almost. You put your filling inside. Today I had one with some avocado and sliced cucumber, and you could put sliced tomato and any sliced onion, any kind of vegetables you wanted to add into that. Okay, we're getting pretty good. It's not perfect, but it may be about as good as I'm going to be able to get it today. All right, and I'm going to add a little bit more water. I think I would like it a little bit thinner than that because I do like them on the thin side when I'm making them. I don't like them really thick like a pancake. I want them kind of between a crepe and a pancake. All right, so let's see what we got here. Ah, it's looking good. All right. Now, while we were doing this, I don't know if you can hear my pan ticking, but it's preheating on about 1/3 of the way up on the heat. So it's on a relatively low heat. That looks pretty good. Now to see if your pan is hot enough, and I'm sure my pan is hot enough, but you can always just put a splash of water on there, and if it sizzles up, you know it's hot enough. So let's see, this pan is really hot. And I'm going to use a 1/3 cup measure to do the crepes. So let me give it a quick little spray. And then, whoo, that is hot. I shouldn't have let it get quite that hot. And then if it doesn't go good, just kind of roll it just a little bit. And you will see that it starts to dry out all around the edges. And then adjust your heat. If you find that it's burning, of course, turn it down. If it's not sizzling when you put it on there, you need to turn your heat up again. But very much like a pancake, you start to see the air holes coming up as it cooks. And as soon as the top looks dry, I will go ahead and flip this. It's looking pretty good. Now I am right-handed, so I'm hoping that I can flip this without, without dropping it. Yeah, that looks great. And we'll just let it cook just for another 30 seconds or so. And then we'll go ahead and put it on a cooling rack, a wire cooling rack, and put a clean dish towel over the top of it just to keep it nice and moist. And then, like I said, once they're cool, you can go ahead and freeze them or just put them in a airtight container and store them in the refrigerator till you're ready to eat them. So let's see how we're coming along here. Okay. And as you can see, they're nice and pliable. They're wonderful. I just fold them in half. I put avocado in. I put all kinds of thinly sliced vegetables in there. I fold it in half and I eat it like a vegetable taco. It's just delicious. You could also eat these as a breakfast dish if you wanted. So you could put a little peanut butter on it if you wanted, or almond butter, and then put some fresh fruit in it like banana or sliced apple, maybe even some blueberries or strawberries, and eat it like a pancake. Delicious, nutritious, good for you. I hope that this will be a blessing.